All right. Welcome back to What's the Play podcast. I'm Ethan. I'm here with
OJ.
And Big Germ.
All right, got a big day today. We're going to start our new series on going over every NFL division, every team before the draft. We're going to touch on their offseason, what it's looked like so far, some projections of what we have for the draft, what they need, and then we're going to go over future opponents, win-loss records, and just a general outlook for the next season for these teams. This episode, we're going to do the NFC North. So I've got the Packers. I'll let you guys go down.
I got Detroit.
And I got the Super Bowl champs this year, the Chicago Bears.
We are not getting into this already. And then we're all going to touch on the Vikings a little bit after that. But I'll let the Lions fan start since he's the...
No. We'll start with the Super Bowl champs.
I want to hear the Lions. I'm ready for the Lions.
No, y'all not ready yet. So
right,
let's
go ahead with the Bears.
All right. Well, I got the Bears, and they're definitely going to the Super Bowl. I just feel like it's the Eagles all over again, pretty much. I mean, you see what happens with Jalen Hurts when they put all them weapons around him, and you see where they go.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with that one.
What you mean?
The Eagles had a way better offensive system, way better O-line, way better D-line.
That's true.
And they had Shane Steichen calling plays. So
I mean, that's true.
I am kind of scared of Chicago though with the moves that they have made and with the maturity of Justin Fields. So
in no way am I saying that they're not going to be good, but I don't know if them rising to the level of the Eagles is correct. I don't think they're gonna appear in the Super Bowl next year.
No. I may have exaggerated just a little bit, but they're gonna be good.
I think they are. So what happened this offseason? Who did they add?
Let's see. So they traded the first pick to the Panthers.
Big moves.
Right. Added DJ Moore.
Big moves.
Top 20,
I would say
25
20. I was saying 20, 25.
Receiver.
He probably could reach that 15
like that
range this year if they throw the ball to him.
I mean, he would have had it last year if he had a consistent quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Will he be the number one option?
Yes.
Ooh, Moore?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. Then they also added Foreman from the Panthers.
That's a good move.
And
good
Robert
move.
Tonyan.
Love it.
He had kind of a down year, not a big year,
but
he was
tight end.
Right. He was still coming off ACL.
He'll be the two behind
Cole Kmet. And then let's see, who else did they add? And then on defense, I remember earlier in the season when they traded Robert Quinn and traded Roquan Smith.
Mm-hmm.
But
bad move. I never liked the Roquan Smith trade. I think they should have kept him. I liked him.
He was young enough for them to keep.
Yeah, he was good too. So
Pro Bowl.
Yep.
Pro Bowl linebacker.
Yep.
But they replaced them with Von Edwards from the Bills and TJ Edwards from the Eagles. Run stopper.
Yep.
He's a nice piece.
Slightly overrated, but I think he'll be good.
Think he's overrated?
I think everyone kind of blew that out of the water. I think he's a great player, but I don't know how much.
Now, do you think with them adding all these defensive players, do you think their defense is going to click right off the bat, or do you think they're going to start?
I think Matt Eberflus could have them playing very well in the beginning of the season.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they've always been a defensive team. Now, do I think it's going to be perfect right off the bat? Probably not, because it wasn't perfect last year. So,
So do you see them losing their first few games, or
that
close games, just because of a defensive mismatch?
I think that all depends on who they're playing first.
Yeah.
Not necessarily do I think they're... Because if they get a cupcake in the first couple weeks, they could win a couple games, or they could come out swinging and be really good. It all depends on the schedule. Who are their future opponents? Who do they play next year?
On the list, we got the Falcons.
That's an L.
That's a dub.
That's an L.
So we got the Panthers. Depending on what they do at quarterback, but that's going to be an interesting game.
Yeah, it's going to be Stroud.
Yeah. Broncos, that's an L.
Yeah.
Raiders, that's a dub. Cardinals, that's one of your cupcakes.
See, that depends on when they play, because if they're playing later in the season, Kyler's back, that's a more difficult game. I still don't think they're going to lose.
Nah.
I think the Cardinals are going to be bad next year. But
yeah. And they got the Chiefs.
L.
Chargers.
L.
Saints.
I could see them.
I see the Saints, Panthers, and Falcons all being good matchups. Like I honestly, those are not going to be like rollover games like they would have been probably like last season.
I mean, the Falcons one might, depending on how Ritter plays.
I think the Panthers are going to be good too, and the Saints. Honestly,
I think the NFC South is going to be better than how people think. I would see the Bears splitting with that division, losing 2 of the games and winning 2 of the games. Whoever comes out of that, but
I mean, they played a whole division. They played the Bucks also.
Yeah,
I mean, that's gonna be a dub. Yeah, I don't think the Bucks are.
I think the Bucks are due for a step back, especially without Tom Brady.
Absolutely.
Right. And then they fall back to the Commanders and Browns.
I can see them losing to the Browns. I can see them beating the Commanders.
Commanders, I think, should be a win. Yeah. Especially if you see that yourself as that kind of team, you should definitely be beating the Commanders.
Absolutely.
They have a good defense, but
they do. Much on offense. We'll definitely see what Sam Howell does.
Yeah, I'm.
And they signed Brissett, Jacoby Brissett.
Sam Howell was a very weird situation. He only played 1 game, looked really good, but what do you do? I guess they're just taking a year off, and they'll see what happens.
We'll see.
Kind of what the Falcons did last year. Just see what happens when they have a quarterback and then figure it out.
So do you see them also beating Minnesota?
Yeah, they got to play all the division people twice. Yeah. So I think they split.
I think they beat Green Bay twice.
Could see it. So. I don't know. I think the Packers are actually not going to be as bad as everyone thinks they're going to be. And we'll get to that when I get to the Packers.
Right, we're going to have to see. But no,
I could see them splitting with the Lions, win 1, lose 1, and then
I think they'll finish 3rd in the division.
Really? To the Vikings and Lions?
Actually, no, 2nd.
That's what I'm saying. I think second, only behind the Lions. I think
2nd.
I think they should be a good team next year.
Especially because, you got Justin Fields.
Yeah. Kennesaw boy.
Hurts 2.0.
Kennesaw boy. Love me some Justin Fields.
I think he could be better than Hurts, honestly.
I think he has a better arm.
Yeah, for sure. I think. So. Yeah, I just think he could be better.
He just has to put it all together.
But yeah, he's got to show something.
Well, he doesn't like how it's too cold there. I can tell you that much.
Right. And he plays outdoors, which is not good.
We need him a dome.
Yeah, not gonna happen though.
Yeah,
not. I mean, there was talk of possibly they could build a dome.
I mean, they can. I mean,
we'll see what their new stadium looks like, but I don't think they've released any plans for it yet.
Now, do you think that's a I'm not playing anymore because it's too cold?
No, I don't think he would do that. He played in Ohio State. I mean, it was cold there too. I think he's just voicing what he wants. And
also, I mean, those were little kids hitting. These are grown men. So
okay, Ohio State is not. I mean, they're not like some cupcake program.
It's Big Ten.
Okay.
Yeah, they play real teams.
It's not SEC, but he
beat Clemson in the.
I'm just saying though, the college divisions, little kids. The NFL is grown men, and it's a reason why they can't just go straight from high school to the NFL.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing, but it's not.
I'm just saying it's just hitting harder in cold weather. It makes a big difference.
All right. Anything else you want to add to the Bears before we move on? I think there's a.
And then
potential. Oh, let's get to the draft. Let's talk about the draft.
Right. So with their 9th pick, I seen that they could take Bijan Robinson if he's there.
He will be there. I don't think Bijan gets selected before 10. 9 is a weird spot. I'm trying to think of what they need I know they need some defensive help. I know they definitely need a cornerback. I think they would probably be tempted by one of those top corners coming out.
Yeah.
But I feel like Bijan's one of those hot names that everyone's going to be, because I think everyone wants a superstar running back. So.
He's on a lot of people's.
Yeah.
Every time I see a mock draft, he's going somewhere else. Yep. Earlier and earlier.
Chargers 21.
Right.
Can't wait for him to be in powder blue. It's going to look so good.
I heard the Falcons want him too.
No, we won't get him.
No, you won't get him.
Especially at number 8. We need best player available, really, for Falcons. It doesn't really matter where they go. Whoever's there, that's who I want.
Will Levis.
No, definitely not.
What do you mean? You need Will Levis?
I don't want
the best player, but
he's not the best player available.
No, he won't be the best player available. Absolutely not.
At 8 or 9, wherever we're picking, he's definitely.
Yeah, Will Levis. Y'all need him.
I would take
Anthony Richardson.
Richardson's more desirable, but I still don't.
Yeah, on it. You think Ritter's the guy?
No, I just don't. I would rather take one of the top quarterbacks next year.
Who's coming out? Oh, you got
Caleb Williams and
Spencer Rattler coming out too.
yeah, but we'll see what he does in his last season. And he's off and on. I like Spencer Rattler, but he's kind of a diva too. So,
I do like Rattler too.
Drake May, I think that's his name, from UNC is gonna be really good.
Yeah.
In a couple years, Arch Manning from Texas, or I'm sorry, Quinn Ewers from Texas too is coming out next year. He's pretty good. Hasn't put it all together, but we'll see.
Right.
Still got another year.
Yeah. Anything else on the Bears? I like their draft possibilities, especially. They could be a candidate to trade out again too, because they need a lot of picks. I mean, they need players everywhere.
Right.
We'll see. I wouldn't say everywhere.
They need defensive. They need defensive help. They need corner. They need a safety. Well, I guess they have Brisker and
Eddie Jackson.
Is he still there? Is Eddie Jackson still there? Yeah, okay.
Eddie Jackson.
So how many like solid players do you think the Bears are going to get in the draft?
If you're
like guaranteed solid players that they're going to keep for a good minute.
I think guaranteed is at least 9. The
Whoa.
9th pick.
Oh, I thought you meant 9 players. I was like, dang.
I don't even think they have that many picks, do they?
I don't think so. Actually, no, they probably do because of the Panthers trade. I think they have 8 or 9.
Oh, yeah, because they got 9, 61. And then,
next year, right?
Yeah, next year, first round, and then the year after that, second round. Just from that trade.
I would say that most teams look to get at least 3 or 4 starters out of a draft. I think anything less than that is probably a failed draft.
Mm-hmm. Especially when you draft as high as they are.
Yeah, I mean, number 9, trading down, you would hope to get at least 2 solid starters out of the first couple rounds. Maybe you miss on a 3rd round pick, but
what number?
Yeah, it's the end of the second. We'll see. We'll see. I'm excited for the draft. The draft is one of my favorite times of year. Before and after, seeing where teams could go. What teams picked who. A lot of potential. A lot of dreams being made in that weekend.
Looking up.
It is. They've been down for a long time, but
laughing stock for a while.
Also, again, their division is not
the Lions. I think that they've been the laughing stock for a while.
They have.
Bears is right next to them.
Yep. At least the Bears have.
Hey, we finna show y'all something this year, though. I don't want to
get on to it. Let me hear about what we're about to see this year.
Go off, then, King. Go off.
So I'll start off. I'll start off with their opponents. So they play the Bears, Packers, Vikings, of course. We play those Falcons, the Panthers, Broncos. These all should be dubs, by the way. These all should be dubs.
You're losing to the Broncos.
You're losing to the Broncos.
Okay.
I'm sorry if you think that you're gonna. I said this to him before the show started. You were gonna come in here and tell me that the Lions are gonna go 16-1 or 17-0.
No. They're not gonna win every game. They may lose to Kansas City.
You're definitely losing to Kansas City
and Dallas, but
maybe
besides
the Chargers too.
Yes, the Chargers.
I don't see that.
You're definitely losing to that whole division pretty much, except for the Raiders.
You can probably beat the Raiders.
I don't see that because the Chargers ain't shown me nothing. Especially from the progress that the Lions have made. I mean, they almost took out the Bills last year. I mean, they lost by 3 points.
The Bills are overrated.
Are they really now?
I'll say that the Bills are overrated. What have they done? What have they done?
Win games?
When it doesn't matter, sure.
AFC Championship, didn't they?
What have the Chargers done?
Nothing.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, but what does this have to do with the Chargers? It's the Bills are overrated.
No, you're saying.
No, but he's saying.
Yeah, the Bills. The Chargers are going to beat the Lions next year.
Yeah, I don't think
that's.
They're also playing the Bucks, Saints, Ravens, Cowboys, and Seattle.
Ravens if they have Lamar.
I can see them losing that game, but that's 3 games. So Kansas City, the Ravens, and the Cowboys. That's 3 games. I see them winning everything else.
You're splitting with at least 2 of your division opponents.
Yes. At least 2 who?
You're losing at least
to the Vikings and Bears.
You're losing once to them at least. Take 2 losses out of those 6 division games. You're losing 2.
So 5 games.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
I mean,
I don't.
12-5 is pretty good. I think that's too high. I think you're probably gonna go 11-6. Come on, let's just be honest. The Lions are not
What was your
that
record
good.
this past year? What was your record this past year?
What was it? It was like
Was it what, 8-9 or 9-8,
yeah.
something
They
like
went
that?
9-8.
Yeah, 9-8.
I mean, that is a great jump from 9-8 to
mean,
12-5.
You haven't been in the playoffs in
11.
I mean, they would have went to the playoffs had they handled business against Seattle
But they didn't.
last year. I know, which is a reason why I don't see them losing that game at all. I don't
Seahawks
see
are
them.
good. I mean, Seahawks
I
are a
don't
good
see.
team.
I do not see Detroit losing for the second time in a row to a team that stopped them from making the playoffs. That one team stopped them from making the playoffs.
Win the game. I don't know what to tell you.
And they are going to win this game.
0-4. What is it, like 0-4,
Yeah.
0-5, something like that?
Yeah, we were still figuring some things out, but we figured them.
I'm not trying to hear. Don't start like that. You would have made the playoffs then.
Okay, well then tell me what they've done in this offseason to warrant going 12-5.
All right, so we're fixing our defense, but everybody's been saying we need to do, which I felt like our defense was getting better, but now it's on point. So we got C.J. Gardner-Johnson as our safety for safety. David Montgomery, who we pulled from Chicago, which I personally would prefer Jamal Williams just of the type of running back that he is, being more of a power back, and David Montgomery being more of an elusive back, and now we have two elusive backs, and elusive backs are more likely to get hurt because they don't like getting hit. That's why they're elusive. But we'll see how that goes. Cameron Sutton, cornerback. Again, working on our defense. Emmanuel Mosley,
Nice.
again,
I like that one.
working on our defense. I mean, we're going big in the defense. That's why I think what pick? I think we have the what is it? The sixth pick. I think we're going defense on that first pick. So
At 6?
yeah, at 6. I mean I feel like we're stacked on offense. I mean,
Oh yeah, no, you good.
we're straight on offense, especially with J-Mo. They want him to actually be the kick returner.
It's good. Getting touches on the ball.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I mean, arguably the fastest kid in the league, and him back there return. I mean, arguably he is. Arguably he's one of the top 5 fastest players in the league.
You forgot them boys in Miami, huh?
Nah, I didn't forget them. I did not forget them. They're like 1, 2, and 3 over there. Like, come on now.
Don't forget about DK.
DK's not that fast.
He's not fast.
He's not that fast.
He's a monster though.
He's competing with USA, and so like, come on now.
I mean, he's fast, but
he's
not
like that.
I don't think he's faster than Tyreek or Waddle.
Nah, I don't think so either. Close right behind.
Do you think that they double up on defense in the first round? Because they do have 2 first-round picks. They have 6 and 18.
What about tight end? Who's their tight end?
No, they got Hawk.
No, they don't.
Oh, they traded Hawk.
Yeah, he's with
Yeah,
the
we
Vikings.
have Zylstra and what's his name? We have 2 more. Kennedy and somebody else. I forgot his name.
How about taking that Kincaid guy?
He's Charger.
Take that guy right
We
there.
don't.
He's
We
pretty nice.
The thing is, there's a lot of Lions fans that were confused and they didn't like the trade of Hawk going to Minnesota. But if you really look at how their offense is played, it does not matter who is their tight end because their tight end really doesn't matter that much.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also very important. So as far as blocking, getting open when Brown or J-Mo or Brown or J-Mo can't get open. So or now they acquired Marvin Jones, which is
They got him back, didn't they?
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, he's a depth receiver.
I don't think he's going to be a depth receiver. I think he's going to be that veteran that's going to mentor J-Mo.
Yeah.
So
Because he had good games last year.
oh yeah, absolutely,
he's not.
absolutely.
When he wasn't
bad.
hurt.
He's just. I mean, I think there are receivers on the team that are better than him that will
That's
start
true.
over him.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what you have St. Brown for. St. Brown is going to probably still
He's
stay
the
number 1. Yeah. The man that's always open.
And then who's 2?
J-Mo.
Okay.
At this point right now, with them getting rid of Chark, which again I did not like.
Could have kept him.
That should have kept Chark and Williams, and your offense would be just clicking at the start.
I think if they're gonna go tight end, they would probably get Michael Mayer from Notre Dame. He's kind of like the blocker, pass catching out of the backfield. I think he would fit them, but I don't think they would take him at 6 because they already did. They did Hawkinson really early too.
They did.
And they just traded him away, so I don't see them picking up a tight end. Period. I don't see them touching tight ends
at 18. I think they absolutely could if they got a home run that they like at number 6, and there's still one of Michael Mayer, Kincaid, Luke Musgrove, who's really good at tight end as well. I think they would probably wait the second round for him. But if one of those top 2 tight ends is still available at 18, and that's something that they value, that they want, absolutely, I think they would pull a trigger on that.
I think we're gonna get Jalen Carter. Personally speaking, that's just me.
It could happen. It depends because the first 2 picks are absolutely going to be quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. I mean, Carolina and Houston are both picking a quarterback. Whoever you decide you think is going to be number 1, whether it's C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young, both of those players will be gone by pick number 3.
I don't think Carter's going to be there for y'all to take. I'd be very surprised.
Arizona is the only one that really is a wild card because they could trade the pick away to someone else who wants a quarterback and really screw the Colts at number 4 because the Colts have obviously stated that they want a quarterback. They will be drafting whatever quarterback's available, whether it's Will Levis or.
So I can see them trading with the Colts then.
Anthony Richards.
They need one. That's a great way to guarantee one.
If that's 4 quarterbacks in the top 6 pick or top 4 picks, 5 picks.
I mean, Will Anderson will go next.
A great chance of getting either Jalen Carter or Will Anderson, which would fundamentally change the way the Lions look next year, especially if it's Will Anderson. Because then you have Aiden Hutchinson and Will Anderson, 2 of the top D-line prospects in the last 5 years.
I'm trying to tell y'all, man.
If that's what happens, then they're going to be scary. That defense is going to be nasty.
Because I turned it up last year at the end of the season.
Especially with the secondary that we added. I mean, just anything that's going to be thrown up. If you're able to throw anything up, should be going back for
scary. Boy.
Could absolutely happen. Anything else you want to add on to the Lions before we move on to the other 2 teams in this division?
I want to say they also added Alex Anzalone, linebacker, and Matt Nelson, offensive line.
Yeah.
So.
Do they have any cap space left? Are they looking to add anything else?
I think they still do. I'm not sure exactly the amount. Let me look it up. But I think we still do have some cap space.
A lot of wheeze going on in there. A lot of wheeze.
What am I wearing right now, though?
They got $22 million in free cap.
What am I wearing right now, though?
I can make some money with that.
Don't. I see you supporting your Chargers. I see you with your cap on.
I'm always bolted up.
Yeah.
Always.
BTFD.
Go fuck yourself. Bolt up.
So you said they have 22?
Yeah, 22 and a half. Yeah, or almost 23.
I mean, you can make one more good move.
And what position would you look to add to if there is something?
Honestly, probably a depth piece. Probably on the defense.
D line?
Yeah, probably.
Ndamukong Suh still available?
No, we'll see.
Definitely add him.
Honestly, I think they're gonna save the rest of that until the last minute. So
yeah, you got to think. I think it's about 8.5 or 9 million of cap space goes to the rookies. So you have to at least count for that.
So 10.
All right. Well, moving on from the Lions, we'll get to a real team. We're going to talk about the Packers.
Real.
Yeah, they're going to finish last in their division.
I don't know. Let's talk about it for a little bit. So, obviously, we all know the Packers, what happened last season. Down year from what they're used to. Trading away one of their best players of all time, Aaron Rodgers. Hasn't been official yet. Still, but as of today, the Jets and Packers traded. Most of the details are agreed upon according to an ESPN reporter, Dan Graziano. The main issue with the trade now is Aaron Rodgers' $60 million cap hit for this season, and the Jets only have $10 million in cap space. We're working to try to figure out how to fit Aaron under the cap while also getting picks and players back, whatever they decide are those terms of agreement. But the trade has not yet gone through. They're hoping to get it done before the draft so they can move on with what each team is going to do. Before I get into the losses and additions for the offseason, I do want to say for this Jets-Packers deal, the Packers currently hold number 15 and 45. The Jets have number 42, 43, and 112. They also reported that the Jets don't want to trade away their number 13 overall pick. However, I think they could swap with the Packers 13 to 15 for some added value, along with those two second-round picks, 42 and 43, because they said they don't want to give them a number one overall. If it's this year or next year, they don't want to do it. So if that's how they're going to do it, I would think those number 42, number 43 makes sense. They just got number 43 for the Elijah Moore deal. 112 would make sense as well, just to give added value. And the Packers need some pieces. I mean, their team is not up to par as it is, but they still have really good players. A lot of players in the defense that are really good. So getting back to their losses, a lot of it's on offense, almost all of it. Alan Lazard is gone. Randall Cobb is gone. He was old. Robert Tonyan's gone. Mercedes Lewis is gone. Aaron Rodgers now is gone. So that's leaving a lot of a lot of holes to fill, especially on offense and the receiver room. The only one you really have now is Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs. But those are both good players, young. You would like to add a veteran because they have 21 in free cap space. They'll have a lot more once Aaron Rodgers leaves. They trade him, however they figure out that money-wise. I think they could look to add a couple of receivers. I'll throw a couple names out here. Jarvis Landry makes a lot of sense here. Slot presence, veteran. He would help with Watson and Romeo Doubs' development. Also, if you're looking for some depth, Richie James from the Giants last year played really well. He would be cheap. Also, Kenny Golladay. I know he's a hot topic, and especially in New York, they did not like him. Basically, stole money from them for not playing for like 3 catches all year.
But he got the bag, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. I think he got like 20, 30 million from them for the last 2 seasons. Didn't do anything with it. But he was a good player in Detroit. I mean, I don't know what was wrong, what changed in while he was in New York, but I think that could be a veteran piece that would be cheap to add into that room that they do need.
I thought he was gonna do big things with the Giants.
I thought he was too. I thought he was gonna play very well.
I was like, damn, that is because he balled out.
He was good in the Lions.
Wasn't he the number one with the Lions?
I think he was before he left.
Yeah.
But maybe they saw something that made sense, and that's why they let him go.
Right.
And for their free agency additions, and this could also have to do with Aaron Rodgers. They're kind of waiting to see what happens with him. They have added no one. They have signed no new free agents onto the team. It's the same things that was last year, minus what I've already said. So that leaves a lot of other holes. Another free agent that I think would really help them, because they have Rasul Douglas and Jair Alexander at cornerback, but something they could use in the slot is Rock Ya-Sin from the Colts and Raiders. He's a great cornerback, really good slot player. I think he would make sense there, and he's probably going to be cheap.
What about Marcus Peters? Would that help?
It would help, but he's older. I think they're trying to get, and if that's what they're looking for, a veteran presence. But I think Jair and Rasul are both pretty established in the league. I think I don't know if they need that veteran presence. But another player, former Charger Braden Fehoko on the defensive tackle. He's a good player, run stopper. They do need some help on the D line, on the interior. Their edges are fine. I think they'll be okay, and especially with Quay Walker and those other pieces from Georgia they picked up. I think that the defense will be fine. They also need an interior guard, so Dalton Reisner here makes sense. He'll be cheap. Recent release from the Chargers, Matt Filer. He's not great. He's aging, but I think for a veteran depth piece, I think he would be fine there. But going on to the draft, like I said, they have 15 and 45 right now. If they're adding 42, 43, 112, something like that, their draft board opens wide up. They have tight ends, need a tight end, wide receiver, and cornerback, like we already said. I think they're a major player for 2 or 3 of these tight end or receivers in the first 2 rounds. I think they need to be loading up on offense to give Jordan Love what you need to see him if he's going to be good or not. Because the team right now, especially on offense in the receiver room, is not good. I mean, they definitely need some help.
It's weak.
And this is going to be a very impactful year for Jordan Love. If it's not this year, it's next year. And you have to see what he has. If you load him up, you have a bunch of weapons, and he doesn't play well, then you know that he's not the player.
Absolutely.
You need to find another answer at quarterback. But if he is, then you have a steal basically that you let sit on your bench for 2 years under Aaron Rodgers, who's now really good with a really good team surrounding him, and you're not going to have to pay him that much because he hasn't shown anything to require a contract like that. He was drafted in the same year as Justin Herbert, so he's eligible for a contract this season.
Mm-hmm.
They could give him something very cheap if he plays really well. But that's how I feel.
He wasn't technically a steal, though. Wasn't he like a top 10 pick?
Yeah, they picked him number 2. I think they picked him number 10 overall, but...
Right, like... if it doesn't work out, they look stupid because they should have drafted a receiver and Aaron Rodgers would still be there. Maybe y'all would have had a Super Bowl appearance.
Yeah, you should
maybe. Come on now. They haven't given him a first-round receiver. They've never drafted one.
That's true, but you can also tell that they're unserious about the receiver position. They let Devontae Adams go.
Absolutely.
I mean, that is...
But I mean, that was other. That had other things.
Yeah, there was money
Devontae had
involved.
other
Yeah.
and family and
yeah, but
so I mean, you can't really fault him. And then Aaron Rodgers, that was partly his fault too because he made it.
Yeah, I like Aaron Rodgers, but he is a diva at this point. I don't really know. I think he's a locker room. I don't mean to say cancer, but
right.
He's a distraction in the locker room. I feel like, especially with all of his ayahuasca and deep dark hole journeys that he's been going on recently. I think it's just a welcome sight for both sides to get away from Green Bay. But I'm excited to see Jordan Love. I almost wanted him on the Chargers before Justin Herbert was selected, but I think Jordan Love is going to be a good player. We'll see what he can do this season.
When was what year was Jordan Love drafted?
Same year as Herbert, so 2020.
What receivers? Yeah. Is that
That's a good question. Let me see
Justin Jefferson?
Yes.
Damn, so you telling me you take Jordan Love and you could have had Jay Jettis?
That is a good point.
You could have had Jay Jettis?
That is a good point.
Come on, baby. Aaron Rodgers will still be there. They would have had a Super Bowl appearance at least.
No, I don't agree.
You don't agree?
Mm-mm. What? Because if you have Jay Jettis and Devontae Adams in 2020, you probably don't lose the Niners in the first round.
You probably don't lose, period, bro. Like, who is stopping that?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like,
who is stopping that?
At least a Super Bowl appearance.
You literally just throw the ball down the field and it's going to get caught.
At least.
Yeah, I guess you are right in that sense. If they had Jay Jettis, but Jay Jettis wasn't even the first receiver selected that year, so I don't know if Henry Ruggs was selected before him and Jerry Jeudy.
Henry Ruggs was supposed to have been good.
And Jalen Reagor. I mean, those were... And CeeDee Lamb.
So that's the one the Eagles took, right?
Jalen Reagor, yeah. That's the biggest win.
Yes.
But
CeeDee Lamb came out that same time?
Mm-hmm. Yeesh. Yeah, that 2020 class was stacked. Burrow, Chase Young, Jeff Okuda's maybe not great. Andrew Thomas, Tua, Herbert, Isaiah Simmons, Jedrick Wills, Mekhi Becton, Henry Ruggs, Wirfs, Jeudy, AJ Terrell, CeeDee Lamb.
Superstar.
Yeah. Justin Jefferson. Brandon Ayuk, Jordan Love, obviously.
Oh, Jordan Love went 26.
Oh, I'm sorry, 26. Yes.
Oh, never mind. Then none of those
receivers
wouldn't even been there.
The only player maybe that you could have picked after, T. Higgins and Michael Pittman are there. Yeah, other than that,
about the 21 teams that passed on JJ.
That's true.
They're probably kicking themselves right now.
You see, they ain't pass on Jamar Chase though. They made sure not to make that mistake.
No one did. He was, he's number 5. I think
so. He's worth it, bro.
Jamar is an incredible receiver. But before let's finish with the Packers before getting on to the rest of the team. The future opponents, obviously, Bears, Vikings, and Lions twice. I think they could split with a couple of those teams. I think they're
the Packers?
They losing. They lose
6 in division.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
They're not. I'm telling you.
Out of those 3, who they gonna beat?
Matt LaFleur is not a bad coach. He is a very good coach. They're gonna scheme this up well. The defense is still good. I don't think they're gonna go.
So you think they're gonna win 1-5?
I think they're gonna go 2-4 probably.
Because then Chicago go 1-5
in the division last year.
Yeah.
Probably.
They beat the Lions, and then I think they lost to the...
I think they beat the Packers, too. No, they lost to the Packers twice.
And then they definitely lost to the Vikings twice.
Yeah, I think... I could see them going 2-4 in the division. I mean, it just sucks that the NFC North is good now.
I don't know.
They're going to split with the Bears. The Bears, the
Don't
Bears cannot get them off their back. Now that Aaron Rodgers is gone, you probably win that
Yes.
first game. You probably win the first
Yes.
game against the Packers, but the Packers will come back and beat them in the second game.
I just don't think the Packers are better than the other three teams in their division. I think the other three teams. I think it's just like
any team can win on Sunday. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I
what
mean, you're
team
right.
is better.
You're right, but I know Detroit got something to play for, and we're not trying to lose no games at all. Period. That's
Who's
just
ever trying to lose games? I mean, everyone is trying to win as many games as possible.
yeah, exactly.
No,
yeah,
that's not true. That's not true. The Texans should have had the number 1 overall pick, but they won the game at the end of the year. They weren't trying to lose that game.
because they didn't want to they wanted to just show people that they can win games.
No, it was the head coach basically saying a fuck you to the organization by saying, I know I'm going to get fired after the season, so I'm going to win and lose your number 1 overall pick just because of that. But those are the division opponents. Whatever you think, if they're going to go 0-6, I highly doubt they're going to go 0-6 in the division. However, they play the Saints, Bucks, Chiefs, Chargers, and Rams all at home. I could see them losing 3 of 5 of those games. They're definitely losing to the Chiefs. Chargers, I'd like to say I'm obviously a homer, so I'm gonna say the Chargers are gonna beat them. But they're
realistically,
the Rams are bad next year. Saints and Bucks they probably split with because those are good teams. We'll see about the Bucks. But away, so they're playing the Falcons, Panthers, Broncos, Raiders, Giants, Steelers. They lose at least 3 of those games. They're losing to the Broncos.
They're definitely
and
losing to the Steelers. Yeah, I'm about to
the
say.
Giants are probably losing to as well. The Falcons could upset them too. I think they're depends on when in the year they're playing. A lot of this is dependent on what happens early in the season. So I don't know. I could see them. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but I mean they could finish.
Now remember,
third, second.
Pitts is not going to be there at the beginning. So
well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It depends on when they're playing. So if they're playing late in the season, I would say the Falcons are better than them. But I mean, as long as everyone's healthy at that point. But I don't know.
They're gonna be ass.
Yes, they probably are a candidate to be the worst team in that division.
Booty cheeks.
that belongs to the Bucks.
No, I'm talking about the NFC North.
Oh, okay.
All right, so now that we're done with the last 2 teams, we're all going to tackle the Vikings together. I'll give some losses and additions in free agency, because at this point they have nothing left in free agency. They have $1 million in cap space. Somehow they'll have to figure out how to sign their rookies. But they lost Dalvin Tomlinson, a D tackle, cornerback Patrick Peterson, tight end Irv Smith, Eric Kendricks, Adam Thielen, and Cam Dantzler. Those are all starters from last season. They're now missing. They added depth wide receiver, former Falcon Brandon Powell, former Charger Troy Reader. He's a good linebacker. He'll be depth. Byron Murphy is a good player. He'll start for them as well. And then Marcus Davenport from the Saints, good pickup as well. I think the Vikings have had a very weird offseason, just considering what they have been in the history the last couple of seasons and what they're looking forward to. I don't know what the direction is because they're not signing Kirk Cousins long term. So I don't know what they're building around unless it's going to be Justin Jefferson and that's it. Because Dalvin Cook, they didn't re-sign, or I think they extended him for like a year or 2 more. They signed Alexander Madison. I don't know what they're doing offensively or defensively, really.
Hard to tell. They just seems like they're just filling in spots. I don't really see any difference makers that they signed. I think they'll be same team as they were last year.
I think so as well.
A pretender.
I think they're going to be. They'll probably win 9 or 10 games.
Right.
Well, I don't know. It depends on. Let me see that. I didn't see their opponents. Well, they're obviously playing the AFC West as well.
It looks like they have about pretty much the same same team.
Yeah, because every division plays an opposite division.
Pretty much.
So
they play also San Francisco and let's see, San Francisco and the Bengals.
They lose both those games.
Yep.
Easily.
Yep.
Well, it depends on who's playing quarterback for the Niners. If it's early this season and they're still having trouble with Trey Lance, they could pick him off.
Brock Purdy is
Yes.
QB1 there, Brown.
He's not playing next year. He had Tommy John surgery. He's not
playing.
playing.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's out for at least next season. That's like a 12-month injury, which sucks for him. But I mean, that's what I was.
Absolutely.
Let me make sure that I'm not speaking
I don't think so. Well,
I'm pretty sure he had Tommy John surgery.
Because I know John Lynch said if the season started today, Brock Purdy would be the number one on the depth chart, but obviously hurt.
He had a successful UCL injury surgery a few weeks ago. This is published 20 hours ago, so this is recent. Per AZ Sports, whatever this is. Let me see. This is a quote. I would not expect him to be participating in any high degree in whether he's making any kind of significant throws from a practice standpoint in July. So he's missing all of their offseason workouts.
Yeah, it says 6 to 8 months.
Yeah, you won't see him until next season, which sucks because I like Brock Purdy, but
I think a lot of people do. They like what they saw from him.
Yeah, but he's not going to play next season.
Absolutely.
So. Depends on see what Trey Lance can really do without safety net behind him and Jimmy Garoppolo and Brock Purdy.
No, not Jimmy.
So I
Sam
think
Darnold.
That's what I'm saying. He doesn't have the safety net of Jimmy Garoppolo anymore. Trey Lance has to do something.
They downgraded for sure.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Trey Lance was supposed to be and then they traded up for him number 3 overall a couple years ago. I mean, he was supposed to be that player, and he's never had I'm not gonna say he didn't have a fair shot, but his starts were always mismanaged in terms of injury and who was coming in behind him. They wouldn't really commit to him. I think they're gonna have to this season. They're gonna have to wait out the bad parts of the growing pains, basically, of playing quarterback.
Yeah, I think this is the Lions' division to lose.
Absolutely, they are number 1. They should be favorited to win. I'm surprised that. Let me see it. I'm sure they already are. Look at some Vegas odds.
If they play the way they played the last part of the season last year, they'll be definitely one of the better teams in the NFL. Super Bowl favorite, I don't know, but
like I said, I like what they're doing this year. I like the pieces that they've added. I mean, this division is going to be very difficult, honestly.
I think it could be one of the more competitive ones.
I think it is going to be one of the more competitive, entertaining divisions to watch. So at least this coming season,
I think it's definitely one of the divisions where it could either go either way.
I say that with the Bears because the Bears have done their free agency has been
the best so far. Yeah,
I wouldn't say the best.
Who had better?
I would say my Lions did better, but I'll give you the Bears. So
I mean, you gotta think.
But they both did really well.
So, and I mean, the Bears are coming from the bottom.
Same from Chicago.
So Vegas has the winners of the NFC North division at the Lions at plus 140. So they're the top of the top. That's what Vegas thinks are going to win. And then Vikings are plus 250 below them. The Bears are at plus 350, and the Packers at plus 500. So that tells you what the Vegas power rankings of these teams are, where they think they're going to stack up. Especially, it's still early, but that's kind of where everyone stands. I will add the Lions have the 4th best odds to make it out of the NFC for next year, at plus 850. Only to the Cowboys, Eagles, and Niners. So Lions are stacking up to be maybe a good team next season. Maybe OJ will have a good year in sports like he always does because he follows bandwagon teams.
And I'm actually looking at the report right here. Apparently, they're saying that Purdy could be a full participant early September.
September, man. I wish nothing but the best for him. I hope he does.
They love pushing up their those.
I'm just on the 49ers. This is what they saying.
And I'm sure Purdy has a distaste in his mouth from how his season ended.
Yep.
And he is pushing to get back and proves that he can still do this because I think everyone kind of wrote it off as a Cinderella run. That
Purdy's that guy.
We'll see. I'm excited.
I liked what I saw. Honestly,
I think he played very well.
Starter goes down. Backup goes down. It's up to you.
I'll be going on the Niners. We need to get back to the Vikings. Let's talk about the Vikings draft real quick.
How did we get to that?
I personally don't think the Vikings are going to do anything this year, but
they're definitely going to win the division.
They're going to be a pretender.
What?
The Niners?
The Vikings.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Why are you still on the Niners?
I don't know. I like the Niners. The Vikings, yes, they're probably not good, but let's get to their draft. They hold picks number 23, 87, 119, and 158. So nothing in the top 20. They do have a couple of needs. Needs at receiver. Past Justin Jefferson, it's bad. I mean, they have KJ Osborne, but
I mean, he was good.
He's good, but that's you have 1 and 2, and you have nobody else. You need a receiver. I would prefer a big receiver, possession catching, somebody that can jump. Especially for Kirk Cousins, he needs that because he's not accurate with the football.
Is there any of those receivers in the draft?
Not a jump ball specialist. The only one that I could think of is probably Quentin Johnston from TCU. He's good. He's taller, lankier, but he's not the big physical receiver that you probably look for.
I don't think there's any in this draft.
Not in the top couple because obviously there's Zay Flowers, Jalen Hyatt. He's thinner, not as jump ball receiver. I would think if they're targeting that kind of receiver, it'd probably be Quinton Johnson, but you would have to get him in the first round, maybe early second, maybe with that number 87, but that's probably too low. They need O-line help, 1 or 2 guards and a swing tackle, whether you get it from the bottom half of the draft or you do it at the top. Need a D tackle, cornerback. Also, something that I think they could do is not a lot of people are paying attention. They could be going after a quarterback. If they like one of the second tier of quarterbacks behind Stroud, Young, Levis, and Anthony Richardson, there are some players you could take a stab at in maybe that 119, 158 range just to see what they have behind Kirk Cousins because they did it the same thing with Kellen Mond, but Kellen Mond was not great in college either. I don't really necessarily understand why they did it. But I'm waiting to see where Stetson Bennett goes because apparently a lot of teams like him. He played really well in college.
He did.
He played against top level content like. Obviously, he was on a stacked team for 2 years, so that's different. But they weren't stacked on offense; they were stacked on defense. He made stuff happen on offense, and he made plays with his legs that's transverse or that goes into the NFL really well. I could see this isn't. I don't know why I'm getting onto this, but I could see him going to the Ravens. Stetson Bennett. They have Todd Monk and the Georgia OC from last year. If whatever happens with Lamar, that could be a safety net.
Absolutely
interesting.
Yeah. But we'll see. That's anything else on the Vikings before we kind of wrap up our NFL discussion for the day?
Now it's Lions to lose. How far do we see the Lions going?
In my opinion, they don't make it past the divisional round. Maybe they
who do you think they losing to?
Out of the NFC?
Like what teams in the league do you think the Lions will lose to?
If they're playing in the playoffs.
No, time out. With the Lions making the progress and with Dan Campbell being the coach that he is and making the changes that he has made in the time that he's been there.
Okay, well, I can't guess on what future changes are going to happen. So I'll go off who I think they're going to, who I think they could be in the playoffs.
All right.
Thinking right now, and obviously the draft is yet to happen. They're losing to the Niners, Eagles in the playoffs.
I think that's
maybe that's it, man.
That's about it.
Honestly, I think the Giants could be really good next year. Depends on what Brian Abel does. I mean, it was only 1 year, and they looked a lot better than they did the year before. So I think they could take another step up. That offense is going to look really good. The Cowboys in the playoffs, I think the Cowboys are going to get worse, especially with everything they've lost this offseason.
I mean, but their game... It depends on Dak, because they got Brandon Cooks. He's a religious 1,000-yard receiver, no matter who's his QB. So...
But they lost their OC.
That's true.
I mean, Kellen Moore was a large portion of why that team was so successful last year. They had brilliant offensive play calling.
But then it was kind of at a detriment, too, because it's like you're putting the ball in Dak's hands 35, 40 times, and it doesn't need to be in his hands.
Prescott.
That's what I'm saying, but it doesn't need... No, I'm saying...
I understand.
He'll thrive in L.A. with the Chargers, but I'm saying Dak is not Justin Herbert.
No.
He doesn't need to throw the ball 35, 40 times.
I agree.
That's why he gets turnover prone.
So... I mean,
there's a chance he can come back
to Pollard. You think he's gonna come back?
Apparently, they said so. Apparently, from what I heard, I watched First Take and all of that, and Undisputed with Skip Bayless,
noted Cowboys,
right? So, and he's saying that they let Zeke go to see if he could get more money and a better contract somewhere else.
I can
if
understand
not,
that because I know he didn't
right.
want to leave. He wants to. I know he wants to stay in Dallas.
Yeah,
so.
his best friend is there.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a possibility he could come back to the Cowboys on a vet min.
I could see that. Let me see what kind of Cowboys cap space we got working here. Right now they got 13 million, so they could give him something small.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
the Cowboys, and you
can he get a veteran million with that?
Too?
I haven't seen anything on the defense. The defense is going to be good.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Dan Quinn is in line to take over the team next year.
Yes.
Can he get a veterans million minimum with that?
Who?
That
a vet minimum is 750,000.
Okay.
So yeah, it definitely could. I think they would probably give him more than that. I think he would. I'm sure there is some team giving him more than that. I mean, if I'm the Chargers, I'd give him more than that. I'll give you $2 million if you're signing for nothing. I'll give you $2 million.
Right. They're gonna make the playoffs.
Should I give him
3? He's still gonna play in the playoffs.
Oh, okay.
So.
All right. I think we'll wrap up our NFL discussion here. We'll move on to the NBA unless someone has something that they want to add about any of the teams that we talked about today.
No, so we have just 3 teams.
We did 4.
I'm talking about the Niners that could.
Yeah,
the Lions.
Yeah, the Lions in the NFC. For right now, seeing what I've seen from last season and the additions, maybe you're right. Maybe it was only a couple of teams that could beat the Lions. But we're also thinking really highly on the Lions when they haven't really shown. Yes, they on paper have added a lot. They look a lot better.
Did you watch the games last year?
I did watch a lot of the Lions games because I had to. So it's not. I'm not saying the Lions were bad last year, but we're giving them a lot of credit to move up when I haven't seen that.
Okay.
Now, if it's
they're gonna show you something on those first 3 games.
I'm looking at the first 4.
We have a lot of blind faith.
Yes, I agree. I'm not saying that it's not going to happen, but let's just pump the brakes a little bit on them appearing in the Super Bowl.
I see them losing no more than 3 games.
Oh my god. Oh my god! I'm going to let you know that they're going to lose more than 3 games.
Realistically, I see them only losing 3 games at most.
There's a possibility. We've seen their opponents. There is a possibility.
There is a possibility. Anything can happen. Any given Sunday. Let's
hoping on their downfall. It's crazy.
Yeah. Let's move on to the NBA. What do you want to get started with? We've got a couple topics here. We can talk about KD's return to the Suns. Ooh. Not so great last night.
No, but we still pulled out the dub.
Still a win.
We needed it.
You did need it.
Yeah, y'all need to stop looking so sloppy though. Going into the play.
Who you telling?
It is.
I'm in here yelling at the TV like, "Come on, man!"
I think there are struggles going around in a lot of teams, especially in the playoff race on both sides, East and West. There are a lot of teams that are still working some kinks out, which is not a good look going into the last couple weeks of the season. Playoffs, the play-in starts April 11th.
Right.
So it's 12, 13 days away from now.
Every game matters, literally.
I heard something on the other day that the playoffs has already started, especially in the West.
It has,
The playoffs have already started because every game matters. If you lose 1 or 2 games in a row, you're going to either be out of the playoffs
you're
or
dropping so far out.
You're
dropping like 6 spots. Like, dang.
It's difficult. Especially the Kings did clinch a spot last night for the first time. I'll give them some credit. I think it was 13, 14 years. So congratulations to them. We've already talked about on the show that they're one of the most underrated 3 seeds. However, I did see a report that a lot of the teams see them as shark bait, that they want them in the first round because they play really good offense, but they play 0 defense. Everyone scores on them. So they're unproven in the playoffs. And that could be a desirable first round matchup, especially for who I saw in the Warriors looking to play them right now at 3-6.
The Warriors want to play either the Grizzlies or the Kings in first round.
I would pick the Kings hand over fist before anyone else that comes out of the West. And no discredit to them, but they just haven't been there before. They're young. They're inexperienced. They got a lot of young players on the team. I think that they're the number 1 target for most of these Western playoff teams, contenders.
I ain't gonna lie. I would probably pick the Kings over the Warriors. I'm not gonna
in
lie.
a 7-game series.
I probably would.
Oh Lord, really? I
can't.
Hey, bro, I need what you smoking, bro.
They can't win on the road.
But
the Grizzlies, they'll beat the Grizzlies.
No, hold on. They can't win on the road. You're absolutely right. But come playoff time, everybody's going to be ready to play.
And you'll have to win one of those games on the road at least. So that
they'll win one game on the road. They're probably going to sweep them. To really be honest with you,
sweep who?
The
Kings.
Yes,
it will be a sweep, bro.
It could be a gentleman's sweep 4-1.
And what makes y'all say this?
I mean, the Warriors recently, I swear, every time I watch the Warriors play, it's Steph Curry in the fourth quarter just shooting the lights out and they can't lose. They lost to the Timberwolves a couple of days ago, but
exactly. Cat's return at home.
Cat hit a lucky walk-up three. I don't think
Cat dropped like 28 on us, spraying us with threes last night.
I don't respect Cat because he changes his voice in interviews. I can't respect that.
But he's a hooper, though.
He is a hooper, but he's also a baby.
I mean, these are also facts.
He's a
good player, but I don't.
So y'all think it'd be a sweep?
I think it could be
Golden State's going into the Kings
and
winning 2 games.
You act like it's traveling, like they're traveling across the country. It's like a 3-hour flight, like a 2-hour flight.
They can't win on the road. They won 9 games.
They would sleep in their own bed. Like that's a big factor.
And then Andrew Wiggins, he ain't coming back. He's not coming back.
I haven't heard anything about it.
And y'all just not gonna blow by him not being there. Like he's not the best defender.
That is a good point. Is there any news on him?
None.
Oof.
They don't even know what's going on.
Kerr says he's dealing with personal issues.
Right.
Well, we talked about it off the show. I don't want to get into his personal business.
That ain't none of my business.
If that rumor is true,
That's tough.
I can't imagine trying to come play basketball after dealing with something like that.
That is tough.
Let me see. There's a report from yesterday. The coach, Steve Kerr, remains hopeful that Wiggins will return this season.
That's all he said.
He's missed 20 straight games. He's been working out still, so that's a good idea. I think he probably comes back to the playoffs at least. I mean, as long as you're healthy, you gotta be there for your team. I feel like in this time of need, that's kind of what you need. Surround yourself with people who love you and support you, and maybe it takes your mind off of what's going on. But never been in that situation. Never will try to put myself in that and force him to do something that he's not comfortable.
Yeah, that's why.
If he wants to sit out, sit out.
That's why Kerr's just. We hope he comes back.
Yeah, and
I don't know if they need.
I don't know if they need him. They're a good team. They are a good team, and in the playoffs, they will turn it to a different level.
But with him, it's.
Are we forgetting? If it wasn't for Steph Curry going off, he would have won Finals MVP.
Really, he should have won it.
I'm not discrediting the fact that
come on,
good.
And if he does the same thing this year in the playoffs, like if he comes back and does the same thing, he will get Finals MVP.
He probably would. He probably deserved it.
Yeah,
because the teams y'all need him against, the Grizzlies.
Yeah.
You'll need him against Denver.
You need him against everybody that has a superstar player.
The Suns.
Definitely, 100%.
Lakers, if y'all play the Lakers, that's what I'm saying. They need Andrew Wiggins.
They wouldn't play the Lakers until like the Eastern Conference final or Western Conference finals.
That's
probably.
True. But I'm just going off, the list of teams that.
I think someone who, as long as they can stay in, OKC could really make some trouble in the playoffs. I think they can knock off the Nuggets.
Yeah.
I think they're one of the better teams to have a chance at going 8-1, being in the 8 seed, playing the 1 seed, and having a chance to take it 6 or 7. I think the OKC, maybe not this season, but next season they're going to be really good. They're going to be shockingly good.
Mm-hmm.
They're already good now. They're good now. They're still 38 and 39, so you can't say that they're at the top of the top. But they're only 2 games out of the 6 seed.
Right. Hey, they still competing.
I don't know what the remaining schedule looks like, but I could see them making some noise in the Western Conference.
I think they'll get in. I
think they are number 10 right now. Let me see what their schedule is. They've got Pacers, yeah.
Suns.
That's a dub. That's a L.
I think they're at home for the Suns, so I don't think the Suns are winning that game.
That's a good litmus test though.
Not beating OKC.
Then
I think we're splitting. I think we're up on the series right now. I think
they beat the Suns the last time they played. They lost the time before that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're losing at home against the Suns. But then their next game after that,
time before that also. So we're 2-1 right now.
Yeah, so y'all probably gonna split the series.
We're gonna split the series.
Yeah. They need to win 3 of their next 5. I think.
So Pacers, that's 1 dub.
They got to be the Pacers,
Utah.
one of Phoenix, Golden State, or Memphis, and then they play Utah in between that.
I think they can
need to beat one of those teams.
I think they'll win the Grizzlies, Suns, Pacers, and Jazz. I think they lose that
So
Warriors
you're
game.
going to go 4-1 and only lose to your favorite team. Of course.
I mean,
No.
they may lose the Jazz, but I
If
think
Durant
they're gonna.
plays, they're not beating us.
I don't think they're beating the Suns.
They're not beating us if
plays.
Durant plays.
Y'all watch it. That's a home game.
I will watch it.
They haven't played against Durant yet, and we're 2-1 against. No, they're not beating us. They beat Utah. They probably can beat Memphis because Memphis will probably rest their starters.
I'm looking at it as
Maybe
Suns playing those sloppy basketball. So
You said the Suns playing what?
sloppy basketball. So
What you mean? And what are the Warriors playing?
Look, we're talking about OKC
Y'all
right
lost
now,
like
bro.
a 99-96 game tonight.
Like,
Hey, don't worry about the Warriors, bro. They locked up in the 6th spot.
y'all more sloppy than we are.
Yeah, you're right. But
Y'all had a turnover contest the other night.
Oh my!
With the
right.
Timberwolves.
You're right.
It was every
contest.
it was every
You're right.
other possession.
You're right, but just look at our rings. That's it. That's all we gotta say. Is just look at our rings, bro.
We talking about
We
right
turn
now.
we turn it up in the playoffs, bro. We go to a different level. We turn on beast mode, bro.
Y'all ain't never been this bad going into the playoffs.
No.
Yeah,
Y'all
but
ain't
we
never been this bad.
Exactly. So we're gonna be ultimately better in the next round.
I hope so.
You better hope that you play the Kings. You better hope. You better hope.
You better hope.
Because there are not many other teams that you're not. If you don't play perfect basketball, you're not going to be many of the other Western.
We'll come back to this, folks, when they're crowning the Finals MVP.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Who, Giannis or Tatum?
That's.
Or
I think it's. I want to get onto this. I don't know who's beating the Bucks.
we are.
The Suns?
We're beating
You
the
may
Bucks.
have a chance this time.
Yes, we're
You
beating
may
the
have a
Bucks.
chance with Durant this time. But out of the East, I don't see anybody beating these
No,
Bucks. I mean, with Drew Holiday dropping 51 last night or the night before,
Last
my,
night.
this team is
I mean,
unstoppable.
It was a sorry ass Pacers.
It was a bad team, but having a player being able to drop 51,
It is.
it's an impressive feat, especially for a player like Drew Holiday who doesn't touch the ball all the time. I mean, when you have Giannis Antetokounmpo on the court, he's going to be always second fiddle to him. But I think
51.
it's incredible. But anything in the Eastern Conference that we want to highlight?
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Bucks and Celtics in the conference finals.
It should
Yeah.
be. What do we think
And
about
the Hawks are not making the playoffs because they'll play Miami and they'll get bounced.
No, I think they're gonna play the Raptors.
Well,
Which
right
one?
now it would be the Hawks at Miami. We're probably not going to win that game.
No.
It's
And
Hawks.
I
It's
talk
Hawks
about-
at
I talk-
Miami.
Yeah, because the Hawks are it's 7 and 8,
7,
and
8.
then a 9 and 10,
Oh,
and then
okay.
the loser of 7-8 plays the winner of 9 and 10. That's how the play-in works. And I was talking to my brother last night, who is a Bulls fan. I think it could be the Hawks lose the Heat in the first game, and then they beat the winner of Raptors Bulls. So it's probably going to be Bulls, I would assume, because they're playing.
Oh.
I don't think the Raptors are going to do it this year. I like them, but I don't know if I trust them in the clutch. But I don't know if I trust the Bulls in the clutch either. But
The
I
Bulls.
don't know. It depends. If it's the Raptors,
Neither
we
one of them
probably
teams are
lose.
making it past the first round. So
Hey,
No, not at all.
hey now, if the Hawks play the Bucks,
No.
Lord.
Sweet.
Exactly.
Now wait a minute. Now wait a minute.
Get your brooms,
Wait,
folks.
wait a minute. Now wait a minute. The
Order
last
them
time,
now.
the last time I put my life
Order
on
them
the
now.
game,
Let's just
I put
bring
my
them
life on the
straight to
game, I
game
swear.
one.
Oh,
No,
sweet.
no, it's not. The last time we always play the Bucks hard. We always play them. Onyeka Okongwu will lock Giannis up. Mark my words. March 30th, Onyeka Okongwu will lock Giannis up.
We're putting bread on that. If y'all put
All
it,
right,
I'm putting
I'll put
some
bread
bread
on
up
it.
on
I'll
that.
put some bread
You're
on
gonna
it.
see a
I'll
lot
have
of fans
to.
going to those games.
You will. I'll be there.
I'm
I will
going
be.
too.
I'm
I'm going
going
too.
to that game. I'm going to that game. I gotta see my Hawks in the playoffs.
I
But
gotta go see
we gotta
that.
get there first. We ain't even. We can't say. We can't even get above 500 at this point. With our last games, let me see. I know we play the Celtics one more time.
True definition of average.
Yeah, it's incredible. I think the last 36 games we haven't gotten above one game below or above 500.
And y'all have had some easy opponents too, honestly.
I mean, yeah, we
I
just
mean, y'all
suck.
have a
The team is
decent-
just bad. The
A
team is
decent schedule.
bad. We got Brooklyn,
I
Dallas.
think they can take out the number 1 seed.
Yeah, because it's the Bucks. If it was anyone else, it wouldn't be. But it's the Bucks. We played them hard. We played them very well. We played Brooklyn, Dallas, Chicago, Wizards, which we're going to that game. 76ers and Boston. Got to win at least 3 of those. We got to go 500 at least.
I think
But
you will.
I would love to steal one of those games. One of those. I think we're beating Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're gonna beat Washington.
Mm-hmm. I think you're beating the Bulls, and that's it.
I would love to beat the Bulls in Brooklyn too. and then we can lose Philly and Boston.
Y'all need to beat Brooklyn.
Yes,
we definitely do. That's tomorrow night.
That's probably the most important game. Yeah.
I think
and the Bulls.
Every
game is important. Really.
We cannot
most
afford
important,
to lose
most
games
important.
Again.
You're right. I said the next 4 games.
Yeah. We got to go 3-1 in those next 4 to even have a chance. We are nicely positioned in the Eastern Conference, where we don't.
Who's sitting at the 11th spot? Who's right outside of it?
Right now, we're at 38-38, tied with the Raptors. So we could flip flop and go at 9-8-9, which sucks for us. But the Bulls are at 36-40. So it's Wizards at 34-42. So we got a little bit of we got some buffer room, but we still gotta win games.
Yes,
you gotta make the plan. If you don't, I would love to be at 7 or 8, not 9 or 10, because at least you got 2 chances.
Who are the Heat's next opponents? Because I'm looking at it right now. You guys are 2 games behind the Heat. But if you guys win that Nets game, you'll jump up.
Let me see
what a game, right?
The Heat have Dallas. Oh Lord, they got a bunch of cupcakes. Dallas, Detroit, 76ers, Washington, and Orlando. That's
not a bunch of cupcakes. Orlando, they're playing.
And they probably would have something to play for. They'd probably still be playing the last game because Orlando's the last game of the season.
Mm-hmm.
However, Dallas is a cupcake at this point. I mean, I'm not respecting Dallas against anybody. Maybe Kyrie and Luka have a good game and they lose, which I'd love to, but they're going to beat Detroit. They'll probably lose the 76ers. Then they'll probably beat Washington, and then Orlando. We'll see what happens. I do want to talk about getting on to Philadelphia. What do we think about Joel Embiid ducking the MVP?
No. He gave him 40 last time they played.
But you're in contention. You are running together for MVP, and you duck the game that you were supposed to play against the MVP opponent, and then you play the very next day. I don't know about that one.
I mean, I don't know, but he gave him 40 last time they played. So and they won. So I'm like, I ain't worried about you. I ain't dunking no smoke. He said he was tired and he was hurt.
That sounds like you just scared.
You can't be crying for an MVP and then not play against the MVP.
I mean, you're right.
He is the back-to-back reigning MVP.
Yeah.
I understand he playing against him last time, but
gave him buckets.
He gives everybody buckets. I mean, he's the leading scorer like 60%, 67% of the time.
He does.
How many of those points does he get at the free throw line?
Over 40%. I think we talked about over 35% of his points come from free throw line. So I can't respect him.
Got some big games coming up though.
Yeah, Toronto. This is for the 76ers. Toronto, Milwaukee, Boston, Miami, Atlanta, and Brooklyn. They could lose 3 of those games. I mean, it depends on how they're playing. I feel like the 76ers are one of those teams that they beat up on bad teams and they struggle against good teams. And
absolutely.
I don't know if they have that clutch factor yet. And why I don't trust them in the playoffs. I don't know if I'll ever trust them in the playoffs.
I don't trust them because James Harden is the second best player.
We don't respect Harden anymore?
I don't think he can get it done.
What about Maxey?
Maxey, yeah. I
think Maxey may be the second best player on the team now.
I mean, they finally put him back in the starting lineup.
I don't know why I took him out. I mean, he's really good.
Maybe they give your bench.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I think Harden would thrive in like a role he had with Brooklyn, where he's the sole ball handler, point guard. He has 2 other killers, assassins next to him that can go get it.
So you're saying he needs to go back to his original role of being the 6th man?
No, he just needs to be the point guard and not try to score every time.
He doesn't. To me,
facilitate the ball.
Yes, he doesn't need to be the second leading scorer. I don't think he's that.
I don't think that's what that. Yeah, he's not that player anymore.
They need.
Why won't you just let him be the 6th man and do that against other teams' benches?
I don't think he wants to do that.
No,
I don't think he wants to come off the bench. Come on.
I mean, he's still point. And I mean, he's still leading point guard. He's still leading the league in assists. Oh,
is he leading the league?
I think he was.
Over Trae Young.
No, Trae Young's had some bad games recently.
Yeah,
that's crazy. So. Last year it was Trae Young.
Yeah, he led the league in points and assists, and didn't even get any MVP consideration. That's crazy.
They was sleep on him. I mean, last year was really good.
He was really good. He literally carried the Hawks last year.
Yeah, at least should have been considered for it.
He is. James Harden is leading the league in assists per game at 10.9. Halliburton's at 10.4 at second. Trae Young's at 3. I love Halliburton, but let me see his can I see his total assists per game?
Halliburton.
Trae Young is leading the league in total assists.
You said Trae Young is what?
Trae Young is leading the league in total assists, with 687. Jokic has 664, and Harden has 587. So he has over 100 assists on him, but he also has a lot more games played.
That's true. Harden
That's probably why his
yeah.
assists per game.
Yeah, he's got. I mean, Trae Young's played 69 games. Nice, and then James Harden's played 54.
15 games.
Dang, bro. So Trae Young would have been the league leader in assists if he just played a little bit less games.
Probably. If he took some games off, I went to the Memphis Grizzlies game on Sunday. That man was taking a game off. The first half was bad.
He played though, didn't he?
He played, but I didn't see it.
You might as well just not play, bro.
He was just walking around looking at the court. And
Murray's good enough.
Shooting half court threes.
No, he didn't shoot at all. That's what I'm saying. He didn't play.
Murray had a bad game, didn't he?
He had a terrible
he had a terrible game.
And then he had a really good game last game against the Cavs, and we won because of him. But I don't know. We stack well against. I think the Hawks thing is that we just play to our opponent every night. If we're a better team, if we're playing a worse team, we play down to them. If we're playing a better team, we play up to them. I think that's how it is.
I don't think y'all making the playoffs.
Hey. When we beat the Bucks in the first round, we'll come back to this episode.
Yes, we will. Mark it down. Mark it down. What's today's date?
March 30th.
All right. Mark it down. We will come back. I will eat my words if y'all beat the Bucks.
Yep.
We ain't coming back to this.
Eat my
We're
words.
going to make it close. Maybe we won't beat. It'll be 6 or 7.
No.
Yes.
It's a sweep.
It's not a sweep.
I'm not even giving y'all one.
It's not a sweep.
It's a clean sweep.
Oh my gosh.
Clean.
All right.
Especially the way Drew Holiday hooping.
They could go in there and handle business and then walk out and then just chill for a few days.
All right.
Drew Holiday never hooped like this.
What else do you want to talk about before we wrap things up?
You want to talk about the Lakers, didn't you?
I want to talk about them. Well, I see that they're now the 8th seed. I personally didn't believe that they can.
I'm scared of the Lakers.
They can change things around. I'm kind of frustrated because I want to see their downfall, but that's just me.
I want to too. Yeah, I want.
But that's just because I'm a LeBron
But-
hater. That's it. That's
No, I
besides
like
that,
LeBron.
I mean-
I'm just a Laker hater. Period. Because I know some Laker fans, and I just like talking shit to them.
They're a pretty easy target, I feel like.
But
I loved them when Kobe was there, but now LeBron, I'm like,
But please, they scary. I don't want to see.
yeah, I don't want to see them at all.
wanna see
Period.
Let me see the remaining games. What they
That man AR is playing AR-15. What is it?
Who?
Austin Reeves.
Hillbilly Kobe. That's what they call him. Hillbilly Kobe.
Hillbilly Kobe.
Hey,
That's crazy.
He putting in some work.
They
man.
got some cupcakes too. They got Minnesota next. Lakers do, and then they got the Rockets, Utah, Clippers, Phoenix, and Utah again. Very interested to see that Phoenix Lakers game end of the season.
Need to see it.
Basically a litmus test to see which team is better. I would hope both of the teams are probably not resting at that point. We'll see. About depends on the Suns where they're locked in at, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm excited for the rest of the season.
They'll probably. I can see the Lakers losing against the Clippers.
Only because you think Russell Westbrook is good.
The Suns, Timberwolves. I can just see them losing those games. I think they're going to beat the Jazz both times.
They should
beat the Rockets. I think they'll beat the Timberwolves.
I think they're going to have a tough time with the Timberwolves at home. And the Timberwolves need to win that game because they're in the 7th.
Is it in LA or is it in Minnesota?
It's in Minnesota. Yeah.
That's a difficult matchup.
That's what I'm saying. So and they
it's just the size because I've seen the Timberwolves twice now this season in person. They're just so big.
But that don't mean nothing. Rudy Gobert's a little baby. Y'all seen
what we did to him? I think
he's
Rudy
making himself
Gobert
a cat.
he's one of the
and that's coming
that big
from
baby right there.
Right.
For real.
And DeAndre Ayton right next to him.
Rudy,
yeah, like 3 rebounds.
Rudy Bear.
Come on, bro. What is 3 rebounds? You're 7 feet tall.
Yeah, I don't like Ayton's tenacity.
I don't like it either.
Motivation on the court. He's not attacking the ball, attacking the rim.
His intensity's not there.
his motor's low. It's kind of like
He
AD.
said
It's
it's
like
like-
AD's motor. Like AD will go off for 38-20, and next game he has 15 and 10. Like, no, bro.
Nah, bro.
Like Aiton, we need him for 15 and 10, not 15 and 3
Now
rebounds.
you definitely need him for that because now KD's gonna be taking over.
Right, so it's like we don't need 30 from him. We need 15 and 10 plus rebounds every night. Do your job, buddy.
We'll see. I'm excited to see that Suns Lakers game now. That'll be a good one.
On the edge of my seat with that
Do you think y'all are getting past the Clippers
one. Yeah,
with the Claw and PG-13?
yeah.
I can't put anything. I can't
They'll
put any stock into the
self-implode.
Clippers. I can't. They don't play.
They'll self-implode.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook will give us something. We'll win the game. I ain't sure.
Are they slated to play each other?
We're gonna come back to this
Ooh,
podcast.
Yeah.
4 or 5.
We'll have home court. That's tough, though. I don't want.
I mean, y'all had home court last
I
year.
wouldn't want to
and-
play the claw either.
Y'all had home court last year, right?
And we choked that, but we ain't have
that's what I
KD
was
though.
saying.
We got KD now.
You got KD, so you can beat the Mavs. Now the Mavs aren't even good.
Right.
They may
They're
not.
not-
They
they're not-
may,
That may be the
playoffs.
worst trade ever.
they may not even make the
Yes.
what
Trading away 3 like foundational pieces and
For-
picks for a player that you don't even make.
for
the
Kyrie
playoffs.
Irving.
I love.
What did
Kyrie.
I tell you when that trade happened?
I love that.
I
trade.
told you I did not like it.
I
I don't like Kyrie on a team like that. Like
I understand, but
I thought it would work.
I did too.
I did not.
I think
I did not.
I think it may have worked if they had a full season together, playing and practicing together. But throwing them with a month and a half, 2 months left of the season, it just was never going to work. And now they're going to have to blow the whole team up because he's not coming back. And what pieces are you there to?
Ain't no
You
way.
have nothing left.
No way he going. Especially if they miss.
At this point, I
Which
think they
looks
will.
like they are.
They're 2 games back behind. Or no, they're a game back behind the OKC, but
They're a game behind OKC and also the Pelicans. So what's the Mavericks? The Mavericks also got.
let me look
I
at
mean,
this.
every team that we looked at. I mean, the Mavericks are playing. So, I mean,
The Mavericks got Miami, Atlanta, Sacramento, Chicago, and San Antonio. They're probably going 2 and 3. They're probably gonna beat.
I said 2 or 4. Or no, they got 5 games left.
Yeah, they got 5 games.
Yeah.
They'll probably beat San Antonio. They're definitely gonna beat San Antonio the last game of the season. No, they can't.
That is an
We can't.
interesting one.
Yeah,
That's an interesting.
because Kyrie likes to fuck us.
So does Luka.
Yeah, Luka Trey.
Luka
yeah.
likes showing.
But it's in
y'all.
Atlanta,
you're
so
gonna be a Mavericks fan on Saturday, right?
mm-hmm. It's the Heat. Yep. I like the Mavs. I don't hate the Mavs. I like Luka a lot.
Didn't say that. Just said you're gonna be a Mavericks fan that day.
I support anyone that's playing teams ahead of the Hawks, unless it's 76ers. I hate Joel.
You enjoy.
But
seeing
yeah,
them lose.
I could see them.
I love seeing Joel lose. It's one of my favorite things as an NBA.
I really only
How you
see
gonna
them
feel when he wins
losing
MVP?
against the Heat and
He
the
ain't gonna win
Kings. So
He better not win it. He better not win it. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I said I see them losing to the Kings and the Heat.
That's it.
That's about it.
Dang.
I can see that. That's best.
I mean,
case scenario.
I see the Hawks being a toss up.
You
Yes.
gotta win that game. That ain't a toss.
It's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a good game for sure.
It is gonna be a good game.
High scoring too.
Yeah, it'll probably be like
No-
138 to
yeah.
136.
No defense being played in that game.
Hey,
136
we
to
play some defense.
140.
Hey, we play some
Y'all
defense
do.
now.
Now the Kings game is gonna be.
No, now Kings Mavs gonna be like 170 to 165.
Y'all play defense though.
A little bit.
Y'all play.
We got a little something now.
Who scored?
They
the
play
damn
like
Cavs
they
game?
play sometimes.
Cavs game. What no defense played in
It
that
was
one?
like 118.
Oh, I thought it was higher than that.
Maybe. It was 120 to 118.
Oh, okay. That's not that bad.
I mean, the Pacers was 143 to 130.
the Pacers. The Halliburton play.
I didn't watch this game. This is one of the few.
He
Hawks
said
games.
the Halliburton.
If he didn't play, y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
He did play, but whoever this guy is, I'm so sorry. Jordan Nwora,
Oh, he came from the Bucks.
he scored 33.
33.
Exactly. 12 for 17.
Y'all seen him get boomed on last night by Grayson Allen?
I did not. Wait, Grayson Allen?
Y'all pull that video right now. Grayson Allen baptized him.
Who?
Grayson Allen.
On
Nwora?
Jordan Nwora.
I don't think I saw
He
it.
used to be on the Bucks.
Let me see.
You have to see that video. I thought Grayson Allen hurt himself. That man had the adrenaline.
Oh my lord!
You see that? That's crazy. Like if you didn't see Grayson Allen at Duke, you would never know he had those kind of hops.
Strong move.
But the way he fell on the ground had me a little nervous. I was like, "Ooh, he fell hard." It was like his legs flew out.
That's
that adrenaline, though.
Yeah,
that's that adrenaline.
I know he was hurt a little bit.
I
know he was hurt
sure.
a little bit.
He felt that shit after the game for sure.
He's not the free throw line. He like
For sure.
like damn.
All right. Anything else on the NBA before we close out this episode? We've already been going for an hour and 20. Anything else?
Sheesh.
Oh, count down, maybe.
Yes, sir. We're getting down to the end.
Yes.
And then,
Getting down to the good stuff.
I think next episode will be mainly NBA, right?
Probably we'll probably have to hit on a couple of the NFL teams.
That's true.
Quickly
Speed
before the draft, but we'll dive deeply into the. At that point, we'll only have a season left or a week left of the season, so we'll see who's pretty locked in. Some hypothetical playoff predictions and things like that.
Well, we'll have like 2 games left.
Yeah, I think by the time, next time it depends on when we record next, but yep. Anything else you want to add before we head out?
No, we're good. Oh, I'm good.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is What's the Play podcast. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Deuces.